Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to take a look at how we can import geometries with animation, like that guy, although that one has some scanning and positional problem. So let's ignore that one. We are going to take a look at a setup from the ground up. So before we talk more, I am going to show you two things. The first is this documentation page regarding import animations. So we are going to look at the entire process, but I just want to point out some important details. The first one is that the recommended frame rate is 30 FPS. Second one is that they recommend using FBX, and they actually mentioned that GLTF is not supported. Okay, I haven't tried that, but if they say so, probably you should avoid using GLTF for animation container. Third is that you might want to bake your animation channels. I'm going to show you how to do that in Blender. The fourth one is that during the export, make sure set the simplify setting. Now this screenshot is outdated, but I'm going to show you where this setting is. So that is what is written on the documentation. Now the important takeaway is none of this actually matters for simple animations. Okay, none of this actually matters. Maybe the GLTF one, I haven't tested that, but the rest is pretty okay. You don't need to worry about those details, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. The second point I want to mention is how do you do a skeletal animation and what exactly that is, and then I am going to show you what that is in Blender. So basically what we have, like those ones, are static mesh. Just in case my pronunciation is bad, static mesh, right? So that is a static mesh. And animations deal with what we call a different kind of mesh, and that is what we call a skeletal mesh. And here I'm just using Unreal Engine's terminology. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let me just extrude this guy so we have a few segments. And then the difference between a static mesh and skeletal mesh is that skeletal meshes have what we call a skeleton, or in the case of Blender, an armature. So we can create an armature here. Right, let me move the armature right here. So that is bone. I'm not going to go through all the details, but basically with the bone you can create those segments, and then what you can do is you can parent those two together, Control P, and then you can do armature deform with automatic weights. Now with that, what we have is, now if you select the armature and go to the pose mode, and you can see if we rotate this, the mesh will deform with it, and that way we can start creating skeletal mesh animations. Importantly, because we are actually deforming the bone, the skeletal mesh animation are keyed on those bones rather than the original mesh. So for instance, let me create a new keyframe here. As you can see, I am using the I key as a shortcut, and go to the middle. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to add another keyframe. Now you can see it's deforming, and then go to the end. I'm going to rotate it back, add another keyframe. Now we have a complete animation, right? And if you select this object, you can see we have the keyframes. If you select the outer object, the original static mesh, if I can select it here, you can see we don't have the keyframe. So what that means is the keyframe are keyed on the armature. So that is a basic setup. And here we have the distinction between a static mesh. What's going on with my GUI? My GUI is broken right now. But if I select it here, the static mesh, the skeletal mesh, and the armature. So that's the important concept. When you export, and here's another important concept. When you export a file, you need to select both the skeletal mesh and the armature, and then we can export this, let's say as an FBX, and put it somewhere, and that is what we call a complete package, right? This includes the mesh plus skeleton, right? So that's the way you can export it. Actually, this one contains even more than that if you check animation. So this is a complete package with mesh, skeleton, and animation, right? Because I'm doing this. But you could also just select this guy, and you can just export the mesh itself. So this is like just the mesh, right? Just a mesh. And if we don't check animation, then we have everything, and we have everything, and we can export just the mesh. And then we can also export just the skeleton, just the armature, right? If we go to object mode, we can also just export FBX, in this case just the skeleton without animation. You can also export just the animation, although because animation is fundamentally based on the skeleton, you have to export both the skeleton and the animation, right? Okay, I just realized I didn't check selected object, so probably previous exports include all the stuff, but you get the idea. So there are 3 ways you can export things. This will become important when later inside the Overte you create a mesh. Let's say you create a model, right? Okay, here you need to specify a bunch of stuff. Let me just select an existing one. You can see that we can specify both the model path and also the animation path. So what that means is this one will correspond to what we had as it's actually not just the mesh, it's mesh plus skeleton, and in this case we have the skeleton plus animation. So that's the kind of asset it's referring to, right? But if you have a complete package, what you can do is to just use the same path, complete package, and then that will still work. So I just want to make this clear. So that's the second concept. Now this, going back here, let me show you how we can, where are all the settings that the documentation was talking about. So if you go back here, you can see the first thing is baking your animation channels. So here we already have this guy, and we have only 3 keys. Baking means that instead of interpolating, we are explicitly defining everything as the keys. And to do that is very simple. Select the object, in this case the armature, go to Object, Animation, and Bake Action. Here you can select the range of the frame, and then make sure you select the pose, and then click OK. And then it's going to say last thing to bake, which I am surprised. Let me go to try it again. Bake animation, only selected bones. I'm surprised. Let me just do this. Okay. Maybe there's something I didn't fully understand, but now what you can see is you have all the keyframes here. So that is the process of baking. The other thing that it's referring to is to do not use keyframe reduction. So if you select everything and export, this time make sure we only use the selected objects, and this is going to be a complete package including the mesh, skeleton, and the animation, and check animation. So here is the simplify. So the documentation is saying that do not use simplification, use 0 here, and then you can export it, right? So that's the one that documentation want us to do. Let me try importing the one and see what we have. So I'm going to create an empty scene, delete everything, and import the assets we have exported. So we have the temp. Here we have this guy, complete package, right? So I'm just going to import it here, and you can see we have this mesh, we have the armature. Now, when you are importing and exporting from FBX, the shape is going to change in a little bit because there's going to be this tailbone that's going to be added, but it doesn't matter because all the important information is still there and the animation still works. So that's the complete package that you can export. Now that is all the documentation requirement, but as I was saying, you actually do not need to follow the documentation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the thing again. Let me just disable this. I'm going to create the same thing again, and in this time I'm not going to follow the instructions on the documentation. Extrude this a bit, extrude this a bit, add an armature, go to the wireframe mode, extrude this a bit, extrude this a bit, and then parent the thing. Control P with automatic weight, and I'm going to go to the first frame, add a keyframe, go here, rotate. Oh, let me go to the pose mode, right? Make sure my keyframe is added here, and then rotate it and add another keyframe, go back, go to like this, and maybe make it exaggerate a bit, go here, and now we have the complete animation right here, right? So that's it. That's pretty much all you need to do. What I can do now is go back to the object mode, select everything, and export as FBX, find the path, and say nothing complicated, right? And then select the objects with animation. I'm not even going to simplify things. I'm just going to export it. And now this will work. Here's the tricky part. We have this guy. I'm going to delete everything else, right? I'm going to delete everything else. So we have this guy which follows the instruction, and we have this guy which didn't follow all the instructions. To actually make it appear here is a little bit of challenge. And exactly how is that challenge is how you are going to specify it. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to just make use of some existing model to illustrate the point. So here I'm going to use the create app. I'm going to pick this model we have before, and we are going to specify this two URLs. And here there is an important concept. The models can take a path. The path is referring to a place where the client, in this case the interface program, can download the model. ATP referring to the asset browser, the asset server. That is the ones that you created here. Right? But you can also use other protocols. Some of the ones include HTTP. For instance, if you have an address like this, you can use that one. Let me illustrate this here. So if you have Visual Studio Code, you can open a folder in code. And then you can just quickly fake a website by creating an index.html, and then you can do open with live server. That creates a local static file server. And then you can copy the path. That will give you a downloadable link. So you can see if I type it here, I can download it. In that case, the whole path look like this: HTTP, your local IP address, the port, and the file name. Now if you do that, and you can see we have the object here, it looks like it's not the complete thing, which is a bit surprising, but anyway, I'm going to paste in the animation as well, play automatically, and you can see, okay, despite some of the scanning issue, it's almost working, right? So I'm not going to address the scanning issue, but you get the idea. Let me just also try the other one. Let's see whether it performs slightly better. Now this is too long. I'm just going to make it shorter, right? Complete package. So here I'm just going to go to the properties, find the path, replace this part, and put it here. Oh, make sure this is correct. Make sure this is correct. Yeah, you can see it's the same behavior. So I think there is some kind of scanning issue, which I may talk about in another video, but basically you get the idea. So you have the whole animation here. Besides using this one, you can also, if you are testing on the local server, like I'm doing here, you can also use file and specify the whole path to the file. So I'm going to close the server and go to close the Visual Studio Code. Before I close that, I'm going to copy the path because it's easier to do it here. And then you can paste in the whole path directly here. Although do note that you need to replace this part if you are on Windows, and also before C drive there's another slash here. That way you can achieve the same effect, although this will only work if you are on the local server. So pretty much that's it. You have a fully functional animated skeletal mesh in, I'm trying to get the name correct, in Overte, not Overte, right? So that's how you do it. And the reason I'm mentioning all of those is there's a very tricky bug if you are using the asset browser. So if I do this, like what we traditionally do with the static meshes, if I choose a file and find the temp, find the, let's say, the complete one, right? Open it, and then I'm going to do this is Skeletal, right? And then I'm going to import it. So we have this guy. Now if I try to add to word, it gives you the correct path. If you try to do this, you will be surprised to find that even though we have the correct path and it actually looks better, the animation will not work. And that is because there is some issue when you are importing into the asset browser, and specifically that's because of this thing, using the baked version, right? Baking compresses and optimizes the file, but it will mess up the animation data. So what you need to do instead is to not use the baked version. Let me do this one. I'm not sure whether this will disable baking, but let me just try it here. Add another one, do it here, and select this guy, put it here. Oh, okay. So yeah, see, actually I just realized I did not play this one. Okay, yeah, but that's the idea, right? So now it's working properly. Let me just show you again. Let me just delete this guy and make sure we do use the baked version. So it's baking, the baking has finished, and I'm going to add to the word, and so they have this object. I'm going to paste the path, make it automatically play. You see, it doesn't play, right? So that's the idea. You need to make sure you do not use the baked version. And I think there's a place in case you are testing, you are not sure which file exactly you are using, which version of the file, you can use this one to reload all the content, to force the reload, so you don't need to close Overte. Alright, that's everything. Okay, I don't know what happened to all the other stuff. Looks like they were broken. Anyway, so that's everything. Importing skeletal animation. Yes, in the future we may talk about what's going on with this guy, but you now have all the information you need to go wild with all kinds of interesting animations. Thank you for watching.